Good evening. This is Empower, the program that focuses on people and workplace. I'm glad that you're together with us today, and I thank God so much that He has been together with us since we met or we spoke last week. So I'm glad that you're together with us, and I believe that you're going to learn so much with us. Welcome. Please don't go away. You can even invite your friend to watch with you, to follow us, and you're going to learn a lot. And today, we continue with our last week guest. George is back because we never finished what we started. George, say hi to our viewers.
Hi, and it's good to be back again to your screens. Hope to add more knowledge to you. And one thing you don't know about me is that I'm also a pastor.
Wow, beautiful. Good to know I'm hosting a pastor. Welcome, George, and I'm glad to have you again. So last week we started on this human resource function, and we're asking ourselves, is it really important? Even if I have a small shop, do I need it? And actually what we learned last week is that we need it, and we need to start from down there with it. When you have one person, you have two people, have HR function in place, structures put in place, and our guest notified us last time. You don't have to have someone there because you may say it's a cost, it's employing someone, you have only two people. You actually don't need to employ someone. You can get services from other people that provide that, and you get professional help, professional advice. And today we start from where we stopped. And George, there's something very important that we didn't mention last week, because HR, or human resource function, and even when we bring in the HR people, who we said last week, they are supposed to be professional.
Correct.
They must have the right DNA to deal with people. It's not just done by anyone because someone is working in the office and they are told you can handle also HR, because it happens. But today we're also looking at a business where it's looking for this HR person, and we see them being referred to as their business partners.
Correct.
So we're looking at strategic human resource. So someone is not just coming there to do the basics, but someone to participate in the business itself. So what is all this about strategic human resource management, all that? What would you say about that as we start?
Thanks, Beatrice. Again, great to be back. And it's a term that has been used over and over again.
Yes.
And sometimes people wonder, what is this strategic business management, strategic business partner, HR strategic business partner?
Yes.
And it can be confusing.
Yes.
Because unless you understand the correlation between the HR as a business partner and the business itself, then you're missing the point. I would not blame anybody. It's where we are coming from. Let me use this example.
Yes.
We, in Kenya, are moving from the model of education that was KCPE to CBC. Now, I tell some people the only thing that changed are the words. It's not the mindset. The mindset hasn't moved from KCPE to CBC. There has to be a paradigm shift in thinking, especially from business owners, to understand that the HR component is strategic to the business. It's critical to the business, as we said earlier, or in the last session that we had. HR, as a business partner, must have an understanding of what the business is.
Yes.
What does the business expect or intend to achieve, whether in the short term or in the long term? And once you have that understanding, then you must plug in from a HR perspective, know the needs of the company or the organization you're dealing with, but from a futuristic perspective, not a day-to-day.
Yes. Not the daily operations.
Not the daily operations. And that's where the difference between the HR business partner and just the HR admin comes into play. You're not going to be filing people's leave days, you're not or leave forms. You're not going to be checking at the door who came in at what time, checking the time and attendance machine, which is okay. It's very good for business. But then you're going to ask yourself, if people are consistently coming to work late, what does it mean? So you present data or information that is backed by data, so that the decisions that are made are what we call informed decisions.
Yes.
That is more strategic. You're not putting your head in the business and only seeing what is in there, but you're having a bird's eye view and being able to prescribe the right outcomes or the right solutions for the business. The HR business partner is solution oriented.
Yes.
They are more futuristic. They look at the health of the organization and come up with interventions of how to make business environment better for an anticipated outcome. They're looking at succession planning. They're looking at tomorrow, not today. They're looking at not the people we have, they're looking at the value of the people we have, the skill sets that they have, and the competencies that they have. Beyond that, they're asking themselves, what kind of staffing or employee staffing that we have in an organization? Is it the millennials, or is it, you know, the
other generations,
the generations, the baby boomers, and all that? What kind of staffing do we have? Then, how do we anticipate and plan for them? If the skill sets are not good enough, what are we doing for the future? So what you need to do as a HR business partner in an organization is to look at the big picture in terms of where the organization needs to be in the next 5 to 10 years, and anticipate the same from a HR perspective. Lock in, and then you will be able to sit on the table with the rest of the board members and the senior level managers, and then add value, but then you must have data. You must have information. You must back it with something that proves to the rest that you are not just telling stories, but you are giving a solution that is backed by data.
Wow. Wow, I love that. Because sometimes I think the mistakes that we make, or employers or business owners make, is this assumption that HR is just a simple thing. Yet you need to see it from that bigger picture.
Correct.
And that is why you find those organizations that already have, they are looking for that position, that someone that can sit on the table with the other business people within the business. Those guys that are focusing on what does the business do.
Correct.
You also listen, and I love what you have said about the data and also the information. As you sit there, as you get those reports about people getting late, a lot of absenteeism, what is it speaking to the business?
Correct.
How is it affecting the productivity of these people? And at the end of it all, it's affecting. When you're looking at people, getting people on board, hiring people, does the business require this? Are we getting the right people? Do they fit within the strategy of the business? Are these the skill set that we require for us to achieve what the business wants to achieve?
It is as good as having a vision board.
Yes.
And you see where you want to get to in the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Yes.
And you can see it. But then your question is not what. It is the how.
The how.
It is the why. It is a whole lot of questions.
Yes.
That will get you there. As a business owner, you may not have all the answers.
Yes.
You need someone that understands your vision, the vision of the organization, and the strategies that are put in place to get there.
Yes.
And plug in. Remember, there are a number of things that HR will really, really get involved in. The culture of the organization.
Yes.
I will tell you this. Very good talent does not operate in a bad culture.
Yes.
And so you may want to even pay them whatever amount of money that is competitive in the industry. But if your environment and the culture does not resonate with their future, they will not come. And if they come, they will not stay.
Yes.
So they're looking at the culture, they're looking at growth, they're looking at a whole numerous elements that will keep them on board, which we call retention.
Yeah, retention.
Coming with strategies for retention, strategies for succession, strategies for growth and development. And the list can go on and on.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I'm looking at this business partner who's also able to see if people don't take leave, the business is losing. It's not just having leave days, balances, and giving that. But what is it speaking? And when people have gone all their leaves, they have zero, and it's still early in the year, what is it saying? If you are able to read that and be able to interpret it and see the effect it has on the business and communicate the same.
Correct.
Because this communication you're giving, which is informed, helps people to make informed decisions regarding the business. Wow. And I think it's a line that someone, even if I have a small business, I need to have that strategic view.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, not necessarily that I must have 100 people, 2,000 people. Even if I have few people, I can still have that strategic view from people perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely. Strategic view is what I call the bird's eye view.
Yes.
Because remember, a chicken down here does not see as far as the bird up there.
Yes.
That's why many people make reference to the eagle.
Yeah.
Because first, it has very good sight.
Yes.
From up there, it can see opportunities. And that's why now the HR comes in to, from a strategic perspective, to inform the organization where they are at from a SWOT perspective.
Yes.
In terms of their strengths, their weaknesses, their opportunities, and their threats. And they help the organization move through storms, you know. Let me give a current problem or challenge that we've had just 2 years back. 10 years back, we never knew we'd ever get to COVID-19 status, situation.
Yeah.
No one ever knew. But then, if you have the right person on board, in terms of the HR, they would advise the organization correctly in terms of how to circumvent or wade through storms or uncertain situations that happen from time to time. So we got into situations that are not common, working from home, you know. How do people report to work when they are working from home? How do you handle performance when people are working from home? It introduced us to a completely new regime where if you do not have the right person on board or the right structure in place to help you wade through that, then you will almost end up being obsolete. Because people are interesting. It's the way they are created.
It's the way we are.
Their emotions. It's their behavior. You don't know how to handle that, you are out of business.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. We should be taking a break in a short while, but I would want to say this, that looking at it and appreciating the need for HR structures to be in place is very important. And I think we'll move on from there. Thank you so much for being part of us. And we believe that you're learning. We are learning together and we are moving forward. And you're going to make changes where we are not doing well. And where we are doing well, you're going to do it better. So please don't go away. We are taking a short break. Thank you for being part of this.